Welcome to the deep dive. If you're following digital payments, you've probably seen the news about Mastercard and Fiserv. It's a pretty major announcement.
Yeah.
Today, we want to go beyond just the headlines. We're aiming to unpack what this partnership really means, for the future of how we all might be making transactions, and importantly, why it's maybe more significant than just another tech update.
Absolutely. What's really striking, I think, is Mastercard directly integrating Pfizer's new stablecoin, FIUSD. And they're doing this across their whole global network.
That's huge.
Yeah, the scale is potentially 150 million merchants around the world. So this isn't just Mastercard experimenting, dipping a toe in crypto. It looks like a really focused push into using stablecoins for settlement, actual settlement on their card network.
Right, and that's the part that feels, well, really groundbreaking. Card networks, historically, that's all been about traditional money, right? Fiat currency moving through banks. So when we say stablecoin settlement, what we actually mean is that transactions could potentially be finalized directly on a blockchain using this FIUSD instead of waiting for those, multi-day bank transfers.
Precisely. And think about the potential there. It could drastically cut costs, maybe reduce fraud too, because you're using the blockchain's transparency, its immutability
At massive scale.
at massive scale.
Yeah.
Imagine the efficiency, especially for like cross-border payments. Those can take days now, lots of fees.
Yeah, the conversion fees alone.
Right. And FIUSD itself is key here.
Yeah.
It's a stable coin. So unlike Bitcoin or others that jump around in value, these are designed to stay pegged one-to-one with the US dollar.
Makes them reliable for commerce.
Exactly. Predictable. And having Fiserv behind it, a big established fintech player, that provides the sort of backing and regulatory compliance needed to build confidence.
Okay, so how does this practically work for all the banks and payment acquirers already plugged into Fiserv? That sounds like a huge integration challenge.
It is a big undertaking, for sure. But what this partnership does, effectively, is it gives those thousands of banks and acquirers, the ones processing card payments for shops, it gives them a ready-made on-ramp to blockchain payments.
Okay, simplifies it.
Yeah, think of it like streamlining something that used to be really complex, maybe expensive. It lets them potentially bypass some older systems, access blockchain benefits directly for settlement, which should make the whole payment flow more efficient and maybe cheaper for merchants in the end.
Yeah. So if we zoom out a bit, connect this to the bigger picture, what does this mean for, say, the average person or maybe businesses thinking about updating their payment tech?
Well, I think it strongly supports this idea that regulated stablecoins are really moving into the mainstream, properly moving in. For you as a consumer, you might still just swipe your card or tap your phone, same as always. But underneath, the system could be shifting to something more efficient, digital natives that can maybe mean faster refunds, merchants getting their money quicker, just a smoother experience overall.
And for businesses.
For businesses, especially those operating internationally, this opens up possibilities for, real-time payments, better ways to manage their cash flow.
It sounds very promising. But what are the hurdles? I mean, getting this rolled out to 150 million merchants, that won't be simple. Regulation, for instance, that always seems to lag behind tech.
That's a really good point. Regulatory uncertainty is definitely a major factor, especially globally. FIUSD is regulated, yes, but the rules for digital assets are still a patchwork in different countries.
Yeah.
Mastercard operates everywhere, so they'll need to navigate that very carefully.
Right.
And then there's adoption. Just because the on-ramp is there.
Doesn't mean everyone will use it immediately.
Exactly. Convincing merchants and their banks to actually use stablecoin settlement instead of the old ways, that takes time. It takes demonstrating real, tangible benefits. It's not just building the tech, it's building trust and getting people comfortable with it.
Okay, so wrapping this up for our listeners, whether you're a consumer, run a business, or just find finance interesting, what's the key takeaway? It seems to point towards a future where digital currencies, specifically these regulated stablecoins, become, well, a much more normal part of how we pay for things every day, and importantly, backed by the big financial players who are actively upgrading their own systems.
I think that's right. And it's not happening in a vacuum, is it? Fiserv also partnered with PayPal and Circle just this week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so this Mastercard news fits into a bigger accelerating trend. It really makes you wonder, how quickly will these regulated stablecoins fundamentally change how we think about payments, not just here, but globally? And maybe what new opportunities could this unlock for you, for businesses, maybe for the whole global economy, sooner than we think?